The dissolution of a marriage can occur for a variety of reasons, one of which is the emotionally taxing and emotionally demanding process of divorce. By examining the factors that lead to divorce and providing supporting evidence in the form of data, one can have a better understanding of the challenges that couples confront. Practical answers can be a source of hope for individuals who are attempting to repair relationships that have been damaged. Nevertheless, what is the true reason that couples end up divorcing? Divorce can be forced by certain characteristics of one or both partners or by external factors. Divorce may be the best decision now that you can't handle being with your spouse. You and your partner are both aware that things are not going swimmingly. The last time you two spoke, your spouse came across as cold, distant, and angry. You anticipate that, as usual, they will eventually calm down, stop being so dramatic, and return to their usual self. Instead, you may return home one day to discover their clothing gone from the closets, and a document on the table, a divorce decree. In order to shed light on the reasons for breakups in the US, a recent study was conducted to analyze data from 4,000 persons who had previously gone through a divorce. Some of these reasons include financial difficulties, emotional abuse, incompatibility, one spouse being indifferent to the other's needs, infidelity on either side, and partner immaturity. But let's look at some other factors that could lead to divorce. 1. Communication breakdown. In a marriage, communication is key. When partners are unable to express themselves clearly and promptly, it can cause anger and frustration, which in turn affects the marriage in every way. According to studies, a lack of effective communication is a leading cause of divorce, with over 65% of couples citing it as a primary factor. Conversely, nothing weakens a marriage like closed lines of communication. When two individuals commit to living together, it's crucial that they communicate their needs and endeavor to understand and fulfill each other's. Unhealthy ways of communicating in a marriage include yelling at your spouse, not conversing enough during the day, and making unpleasant comments to express yourself. Couples risk isolating themselves, becoming lonely, and losing interest in one another when they stop communicating. Because of this, the relationship may end. 2. Unrealistic expectations. Having high expectations of your spouse and the union as a whole is a natural reaction to the fact that you are entering into a marriage agreement. When you have high expectations for your partner, it may be challenging for them to achieve those goals, which may result in either of you experiencing feelings of disappointment. A divorce may be the result of a number of circumstances, one of which is the formation of an expectation that is not accurate. 3. Lack of intimacy. When spouses don't feel connected to one another, it can lead to a rapid breakdown of the marriage. This is because it makes couples feel more like roommates than spouses, or even strangers. This has nothing to do with sexuality and can arise from a lack of emotional or physical closeness. Know that giving your spouse the silent treatment on a regular basis can eventually lead to a divorce. According to statistics, physical and emotional intimacy issues contribute to around 15% of divorces. Divergent sex urges and appetites are a common source of conflict in relationships. When a couple does not try to satisfy each other's demands, this is when problems often arise. To add insult to injury, our sexual demands might shift during life, which can cause us to feel betrayed and confused. One of the most common reasons couples split up these days is because one partner doesn't take care of their sexual demands. Both people in a relationship have a role to play in making it romantic and intimate. To enhance your relationship, try to do small acts of kindness and appreciation and make the most of physical intimacy. 4. Lack of preparedness for marriage. Unexpectedly, 75% of all couples have cited a lack of marital readiness as the reason their relationship ended. Couples in their 20s have the greatest divorce rate. Divorce often occurs because one or both partners were unprepared. The key here is to know what you are getting into. 5. Financial strain. They say money makes people funny, and it does. If a couple disagrees on finances, it can cause major issues. Why does financial incompatibility cause so much divorce? Well, financial incompatibility is the final straw for 41% of divorces, according to data. Due to power struggles, different spending habits, financial aspirations, and one partner generating far more money can ruin a marriage. Differences in marital income can sometimes cause power struggles. Money affects everything. It affects our lives and even our outlook on our lives. Financial stress seems to go hand in hand with many marriages. Financial problems are a major cause of divorce after infidelity. 6. Physical and emotional trauma or abuse. This has nothing to do with sexuality and can arise from a lack of emotional or physical closeness. Know that giving your spouse the silent treatment on a regular basis can eventually lead to a divorce. Unfortunately, 23.5% of all divorces are the result of some form of abuse, whether physical or emotional. Disagreements over sexual appetites and sexual urges are common in relationships. When a couple is trying to satisfy each other's wants, this may be a genuine pain. To add insult to injury, our sexual demands might shift during life, which can cause us to feel betrayed and confused. One of the most common reasons couples split up these days is because one partner doesn't take care of their sexual demands. Both people in a relationship have a role to play in making it romantic and intimate. To enhance your relationship, try to do small acts of kindness and appreciation and make the most of physical intimacy. It is often due to the abuser's deep emotional issues rather than their being a bad person. No one should ever put up with violence, and if you are in an abusive relationship, you need to get out of there safely. 7. Infidelity. Getting one partner's physical or sexual demands addressed at the expense of the partnership is a surefire way to ruin it. Restoring trust after a partner feels deceived is incredibly challenging. 20 to 40% of marriages that end in divorce can be attributed to extramarital affairs, making them the leading cause of divorce. This is a leading cause of divorce. We tend to oversimplify the reasons why people cheat when we're angry. Infidelity frequently starts as a friendship that seems harmless at first. It begins as a passionate affair that progresses into a more physical one. Some of the most prevalent motivations for infidelity are emotional distance, variations in sexual desire, and animosity or resentment against the partner. A lot of people get a divorce because one partner cheated on the other. Along with being physically or mentally abusive to your spouse or having lived apart for more than a year, this is a valid basis for a divorce. Divorce is not an exciting moment within a marriage and can be quite painful. Especially when one party, if not both, is fully invested. We here at Motivate My Marriage do not encourage couples to get a divorce if they can avoid it. However, we do understand that not every situation can handle the stresses that happen within a marriage. It is our hope that couples will first do the proper work in getting to know themselves and each other prior to getting married, and be willing to have an open heart and be patient with one another while they are married. Supporting one another as they both go through the many challenges that the beautiful union called marriage can bring about. Thanks for watching Motivate My Marriage. Please be sure to like, subscribe and share.